Welcome to the Maral Vegas show, where we will meet some cool people and maybe even learn a thing or two about the Vegas that you don't know. And maybe learn a thing or two about other things too, like dating. Today's episode is all about the psychology of the new dating world in 2022. We're going to be talking about how living in Vegas, it's a little bit more challenging because we live in a transient town. So online dating is challenging everywhere, but I think it might be a little harder for us, if I had to say. We're also going to talk about matchmaking, and we have a wonderful guest today. Her name is Andrea Wells. Forgive me for messing that up. She is from Tawkify. She is a matchmaker, a coach, a moderator, and she's going to be talking to us all about matchmaking today. We're going to be talking to Genevieve. She is a Las Vegas local and a realtor. And guess what? She's trying out matchmaking, and she's going to tell us about her experience. And I have a lot of questions. The other person we're going to meet with is Courtney. She is a family therapist, and she co-owns the Healthy Foundation Center in Las Vegas. They've been here since 2014. And my other guest, we have a lot of people on the show, a lot. My other guest is actually sitting right next to me right now, and it is my mother, Seza. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
I'm going to show you a little bit about what online dating is in a minute, but before, because I know you know nothing about that. But before I do want to say that today's episode is sponsored by Samba Latte. We are actually drinking some Samba Latte right now. Thank you so much for giving us some coffee today. And I definitely recommend going to at least one of these locations. They have one in Boca Park. They have one in Mulaski Center on City Parkway and one on Jones Boulevard. So, yeah. We got some local coffee with us today. Thank you so much. And by the way, I spoke to Luis, who is the owner of Samba Latte, about his how he met his wife. And interestingly enough, he met her organically in DC after 9/11 inside a gym. They just started having a conversation. He was in his 40s, and they're married all these years later. And so, yeah, that can happen too. It doesn't have to be as a matchmaking thing, or online. So anyway, my mom knows nothing about online dating, or maybe she does, and I did not know. I want to show you, Mom, how this works, okay? Real quick. Are you ready?
Yeah. What makes you think I don't know about dating?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that you don't know about dating. What I'm saying is that I don't think that you've ever done this. So,
okay.
Okay, so this is an app. It's called Tinder.
Okay.
You haven't heard of it?
No.
Okay. So you're gonna look, trying to not get away from my mic here. Do you see this? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you hold the phone.
Okay.
Okay. So don't do anything yet. So I guess you can think in the terms of me. Like, would you want me to date that guy? Do you think he's good looking? You can look at some of the stuff it says in the profile too. Why would you say no?
Why would he be posing with no top?
Guys do that all the time. He has no shirt on.
Yeah.
That's a very good question. There are a lot of people on that app that just are without clothes on, actually, all the time.
No, I wouldn't want you to date this
So
guy.
now you're going to swipe to the left. Go, yeah.
No, right?
No, Mom, you swipe to the right.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. No, let me see.
Sorry.
That guy actually favored me because there was a little blue star. So that means that he saw my profile and he liked it. He super liked it.
Really?
And so if you just swipe to the right, he's going to think I
like
you.
Like... But
do you have any questions?
No.
You don't? Okay.
No.
So aren't you curious about what happens after you swipe left and right? I'll tell you.
No, I thought we were going to get more pictures.
Yes.
See more pictures.
You do. You end up swiping left or right.
Sorry.
But what ends up happening...
To the left.
Okay. This one to the left? Okay. This is actually an advertisement.
Okay.
So after you do some swiping, okay, you click on this button right here, and that's where all the messages are.
Mm-hmm.
And
About him or other messages?
No, people are messaging you. Me.
Okay.
They've messaged me.
Okay.
And that's when you have a conversation. But what ends up happening is there's so many people that have messaged, or I just don't have time, to be honest with you. This is why all these messages have not even, I haven't responded.
Oh, good. Don't.
Yeah. So that's in a nutshell what a dating app is like. It's, you don't really get that. You don't have much information. If you notice, that guy had nothing on his profile. So there.
Just his picture, and you have to date him with just his picture?
Well, you have a conversation after that, but the thing is, you don't really know, if this person is real. I mean, they can use a passport and pretend like they live in this area. So they give you, the Tinder has this feature where you can purchase a passport and start looking in a different city that you don't live in, or a different country, actually. That happens a lot to people that live here. That happens to me personally a lot. I end up talking to people who pretend to live here.
Nice.
Yeah. So, all right. So I feel good that I at least gave you a little bit of an educational on what we're talking about here today. I'm not an expert by any means. So we are going to introduce our first guest, Andrea. And Andrea, I'm saying her name wrong, and I will be...
Andrea.
I said it wrong at least 3 times. I did. She literally warned me before the show. She was like, if you say my name wrong, just to let you know, everyone is going to talk about you. And now they're all going to talk about me. So it's Andrea.
You're doing so good. I'm so proud of you. Don't even worry. I'm so happy to be here, darling.
I have a difficult name to pronounce as well. So, and
yes,
I've
you
heard.
Do. Yes, you do.
You can say my name wrong. Please do right now. I'm okay with that.
Oh no! I was already thinking like I do not even want to try. I'm not going. I'm not going to do it. So that's why I am telling you, grace on both sides. I understand the plight, and I just say your mom is just so beautiful and just delights
thank
me
you.
right now. I love seeing her here.
Yeah, so I don't know if I did a very good job at showing her the online thing, but Andrea Wells is a matchmaker at Tawkify and a coach and a moderator, and she has a certification as a professional coach in the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching, and she is committed. She has a committed passion for helping singles and couples who want to build and grow lasting and meaningful relationships. And you truly, truly enjoy seeing your clients restore their belief in love, which is, kind of what we want to do here is restore people's belief in love. Hopefully we can do that after this episode. And what brought you into this profession, first of all?
Well, I started out in property management, and my residents would come to me with all of their love woes, and I would really get so much energy from helping them work through those. And when management changed and my attitude about it changed, and then their attitude about me changed, and they pushed me out. It really allowed me to discover that there's been so many different things along my path that have really supported all the other talents that I have to get into this journey. And though I do work with Tawkify, everything as far as my process, my clients, it's all Andrea D. Wells, but I always am very honored that I get to have Tawkify as a platform to share my journey.
That's beautiful. Can you tell us? I know a lot of people do not know what Tawkify is. I've had side conversations asking people about it, and no one has known. So tell us, what is Tawkify?
Tawkify is an online platform that utilizes matchmakers to help make that connection and really spark some intentional meetings. And it breaks up this circular type of pattern that really happens easily when you're online swiping. just like we were about to do. We don't like them. Go next, go next, go next, right? And allows for you to interact with people who have some insights and do some back end work to really try to go inward, help you go inward to get really what you're looking for as they go out and go through candidates and try to advocate for you in that way.
So, my first question is there a right answer to how we approach dating? And the reason why I ask this is because I'm 42, and a very young 42, by the way. I don't feel 42. I'm single, and I have the opinion of my friends and my family, and they say stuff all the time. I've literally been told, you need to stop looking. That is the problem. When you stop looking, that's when you're going to meet someone. I can't quite wrap my head around that one because to me, it sounds very silly because how would I find anything or how would I mean, in life, whatever I've accomplished, I've had to somehow look for it. So I don't get that part. Then I hear the complete opposite and I hear you have to put effort into it. So, and then, I have the stories of all the dating apps that can be horror stories, but I've also met friends and family have told me that they've had success on it. So I just want to know, do you think that there is a right approach or is it just on an individual basis?
Actually, the only right approach that I really try to encourage all of my clients to start with, and that's why I clap and champion them on, is an approach of celebration because you're at a really awesome stage of your life. You are beautiful and you're realized and you are more aware of the person that you are. So you should be really happy actually to go into the world and let someone else know that there's this great grand person that is available. So there's a lot of people that are looking for you. So the more that you really turn on your light, the more you're available to be seen and the more that you have a clarity to see. And it's like looking for Where's Waldo, right? You'll have a bunch of distractions that try to get in your way, but it won't matter because you're looking for something very specific and something very specific is looking for you. But you're not going to be able to be seen if you're shrouded with a lot of negative, low vibrating energy. You're going to be like a cloud and you want to really shine like a beautiful star that you are.
I agree with that. And I do have a bunch of friends that I've encouraged to go out there and look and because they they are shining stars, but they need to see that in themselves that and I know there's a shining star somewhere for them. Um okay, so I went through the questions. You had sent me a link and I did apply. I don't I did try. It was very basic. The questions that were asked were I don't feel like I got too in depth and too deep into it. So yesterday I sat down and I made an entire list and I'm like, I don't know if this list is a little ridiculous for me. I wanted to ask you like there are some areas that I'm undecided, to be honest.
Okay.
And I'm curious your whole take on that and the process. So someone goes on the site and actually puts in the information and then they have a consultation with you. Is that how it works? And then you go deeper into the list of what that person needs and wants?
When you become a client with the service, then you are assigned a matchmaker, and there's a welcome meeting that happens. And during that process, you do go through all of the things that you're looking for as far as potential candidates are concerned. And that is from the physical outside things to how heavy they are, how much hair they have, their height, to the inward things, right? What their foundational things are, their religious things, their vaccination principles, what kind of income level are we thinking of? We really go through, I do attachment styles, love languages, everything that comes up organically for you that you really value so that I can just visualize the energy that's coming from you. So when I get to that second part after we do the welcome meeting, which is your candidate search and screening, I can when they actually do schedule a call with me, because then we do have a one-on-one time where we have a video call and they get on my schedule. But then I can visualize as I'm speaking with them what it would look like to actually have you two sit down. And then if they actually make it through that next process, I go ahead and schedule a presentation where we talk about this awesome potential candidate. And when you get excited about them, we go ahead and go into the planning stage where I would run all of the location times by each of you to make sure everything is up to par. Then we finalize all of that and it gets sent out through a text and email form. I send little reminders, just making sure the energy is up for the interaction towards that day. And then you have the interaction and you let me know what you'll be wearing about 5 hours before the date so that I can relay it to the other person. Because again, you're really getting a taste for somebody's energy and how you're going to experience this person before you actually get to form whatever preconceived opinion you might have off of their social media representative.
It really sounds like you guys are hands-on, and honestly, it's not wasting your time at the end of the day, because I hate the first date. I'm not gonna lie. Anytime that I've been on online dating, I hate the first date. Not for matchmaking, it sounds like you know what you're getting yourself into. With online dating, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. I went on a date, I think it was on Bumble, and I'm sitting there at the restaurant with the guy, and he told me 30 minutes into the date that he lied about his age on the app. And he was like 10 years older than what he said. Now, I wouldn't have had a problem with it if he was older, because he did look younger. And it doesn't even matter if he looked older, honestly. The problem that I had was the fact that he lured me into that date and lied to me about it. And I was so annoyed by that. And I'm like, there's no way I can date someone who
a terrible
lied to
foundation.
me. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a terrible
you
foundation.
know, it's just misleading. And it's funny because I swiped and I saw that he was still on there lying about his age even after that. So I will not disclose who that is. But what else? I've just experienced so many things. During the pandemic, I had guys trying to ask me to like meet them in parking lots. I'm not joking. Mom, I didn't do it, so don't worry. I saw my mom's face.
No.
She looked so worried. Look at my poor
like,
mom.
Mom,
I didn't actually do it. So now my mom is really, really scared about online dating because she didn't know anything about it before. I was going to ask you about the attachment style stuff, and I was going to ask you about the love languages, and you told me that without me even asking. That's amazing. Those are the two things that I feel like are so important, because I've been doing this thing lately where when I meet someone, I try to find out how their upbringing was. I'm curious about that. No one has there are people that have perfect upbringings. Like the mom was there, the dad was there, they had all these wonderful experiences, and I know I didn't have my father there, but it's okay. Like I had him in my life, but it was an in and out thing. And so here's the thing. If you haven't done the work on yourself, that's what it is that I'm looking for, to see if you've done the work. And it's okay if you haven't had a perfect upbringing, but if you haven't done the work, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to deal with the baggage of that in the relationship. And I want to backtrack that actually, because I did learn that a relationship, which is the opposite of what I knew growing up and what I've heard wired into my brain, is that apparently a relationship is a place where you can heal, and it's good it's a good nurturing place when you're in a secure one, right? So it's okay if things come up. So I don't want to make it seem like you need to have done like 100% of the work, but at least some of it, like you're open-minded, you recognize things, So yeah, that definitely has been an interesting topic, and something that I would want the other person I'm with to have an awareness to.
Is that a part of your list?
Interesting. I don't know if I put that in there. I was thinking about it when you were saying it, but I'm going to go over some of the stuff I put. When you were talking, it made me realize that my list could be 3 times longer. So that's
There we
so
go.
yeah.
There we go. Mm-hmm.
One of the okay, so I'm going to go over it with you, and you tell me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Let's go.
and interesting. I didn't write stuff about looks, and of course, we all have our preferences, but I didn't want to seem vain. I guess I was a
And
little
that's
worried
funny
about
you
that.
say that every time
Yeah.
we're in a welcome meeting and we get to the outer stuff. There's
Mm-hmm.
always that same energy flare of like, I don't want to be a
Right.
certain type of way. And the thing is, it's not being any type of way, but as a matchmaker, it really just helps to see what you find naturally aesthetically pleasing, just the
Yeah.
range, right? And if there's a range, fantastic. But if really you have this beautiful love for light haired, light eyed guys, and I am bringing you all dark haired,
Yeah.
dark guys, it's like I'm not gonna know if you don't
Right.
really just be honest, right, about
Right.
what really would get some good energy from you.
We have an attraction, obviously,
Yeah.
to certain types of looks, and we can't deny
Hmm.
that. I mean, that's apparent. I think we have a question before I get into my list real quick. Let me see what that question is, if I can find it. Okay. Salpi, this is actually my cousin. I feel like if you made an effort to hire a matchmaker, then you are more serious. Both participants. I agree with that.
Yeah,
Obviously.
and that's definitely something I encourage when I speak with my clients is that people who I'm talking to, they're more intentional about where they are in their journey. So that means, yes, you are less likely to get people who play the typical games that you experience in a regular swipe app situation. But again, you still do have people who are doing the work in real time, and everyone still gets afraid and will still panic when it comes time to give them what they want, and they're like, oh no, it's really here, close the door. Right. And that's where I really take joy in encouraging people to pull back up that celebration energy, because it really is necessary so that you can continue to have the courage to do these things that seem outside of your comfort zone.
That makes sense. Okay, let's dive a little deeper into this now and get into my list. um, I have to have someone that's funny. That's very important to me. I love laughing. So I can't have someone that's like, just very serious all the time. I want someone that's emotionally open and supportive and can connect on a deeper level and can be vulnerable. That has always been a stumping thing. Like you just realize that while you're dating someone that, oh, this person's not, can't be vulnerable. So maybe that's what we were talking about earlier, the work. If you've done the work. The other one is driven and hardworking, because I'm ambitious, very ambitious. So I want someone that's like that too. I hope I don't sound like I want to date myself after this list, by the way.
Don't worry, a lot of
I was thinking
people
about
sound
that.
like they do.
I'm like, this is me. Like the other one is an extrovert. I mean, I have a secret introverted side, so meaning that, like you can see me right now on camera. I'm bubbly. I love talking, and I'm always like this, but I do have an introverted side. I like to be alone and have my glass of wine, cuddle up with my dog. So I do appreciate someone who has an introverted side as well. Educated. I have my master's in business, and I don't look, you don't have to have a master's or continued education, but I at least want someone that has had a bachelor's, only because it meant something to me. I did it, and it wasn't easy, to be honest. And then the other one is I'm active. I have a trainer right now, and he's trying to push me, and I really need to get my butt into shape, like better shape. But I am continuously active, and it's a part of my life. And I have dated guys who ironically ended up kind of not being active, and I found myself sitting on the couch, and I don't want that. And I do a lot of hot yoga. So someone who knows how to court, puts effort into it, is fair-minded, understands that a relationship is a two-way street, a good communicator, kind, honest, loyal, family-oriented. I haven't decided. This is the undecided part that I was telling you about earlier. I'm 42. Obviously, we know, okay, the biological clock is ticking. I'm not, I know that. But I'm not 100% sure whether or not I want to have children. I'm really like being completely honest when I say that. I would entertain it and I want to have a family, but I don't think it's right for me right now. So I do want someone that's open to like adoption or, and I guess I'd be open-minded to dating someone that has kids, but I'm not sure how that would look. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's the part where I struggle a lot. And then I want to date, Genevieve is going to be on the, I can't wait to pick her brain apart about her dates. But for example, she told me she's dating people that are not local, and also she'd be open to that. I'm not, look, the show says Maral, Vegas. I don't think I'm leaving anytime soon unless I do the podcast, fly here to do the podcast. But I just don't see myself leaving Vegas. So I struggle with that as well. And I want someone, this one was a hard one for me to say financially stable. It's not, I don't know why I struggle with that. It's not because I don't think I deserve that. I do, but it's because I've been very independent my entire life. Anyone that knows me knows that I don't even ask anyone for help. And if I ever in my life, it was like I don't. So I want someone that's, successful and can hold their own as well. So there's my list. What do you think?
I'm waiting to hear something scary in your list. And literally
Really?
your list it sounds like mostly everyone's list. There's nothing abnormal in your list. There's nothing unreasonable in your list. Actually, a lot of people are looking for those same things. And again, when you're looking for these things in your list, it's really how you feel, again, like you exhibit those things, how you identify the way that they show up in others, right? And really get to see the heart of a person and if they align with what you align with. I mean, when we get to lists, I mean, there's things that you can definitely add that would allow you to make it a little bit more intricate or more difficult that some clients have definitely given me. But yeah, yours, that's piece of cake, darling. Piece of cake.
You're like, I could find you a man tomorrow.
Piece of cake.
Mom, would you add anything to this list? Come on, you heard the list, Mom. Tell me what you would add to it. I know you probably thought of some things.
No, it's perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can find a man who has all these qualities, you got it.
All right, Mom.
Okay,
approved.
now add to your list, though, what your political alignments are, what your religious views are, what your vaccination
that's very important.
views are.
Yeah.
Right, the real meat of your life kind of stuff.
I agree. That is important to me too, 100%. Because you want to be able to have conversations with someone and not arguments. I mean, you want to stay in the relationship regardless, right? And people grow and evolve and change. And Courtney will probably talk to us a little bit about that because she's a family therapist, so she knows. But if you can kind of, I don't know, for me anyway, I'd rather be like-minded. So. Anyway, we have a segue right now. We're going to talk about InstaWork. Okay. So are you feeling stressed out looking for work? Well, I have a perfect solution for you, and it is called InstaWork. The InstaWork app is creating an economic opportunities for professionals in the hospitality industry nationwide. And why are they so amazing? Well, first of all, you will get flexibility because you will be able to create your own schedule and you decide when you work. And there are thousands of shifts. People are picking up thousands of shifts right now, actually in Vegas, right from their cell phone. you can control your income. I mean, what is not better than that? And you know what you're making, by the way, before you even pick up that shift. So it's all up to you. And you will make more than minimum wage. And also, there are various positions available, and you'll have the opportunity to progress and upscale from one position to another. And some of the positions included are bartenders, bussers, cashiers, dishwashers, event servers, event setup and takedown. I can keep going. General labor, prep cooks, line cooks, runners, warehouse associates, just to name a few. And if you do sign up with this link, you will receive an extra $50 bonus after the first shift work. So go ahead and sign up, and that is a little incentive for you to get started. Also, Instawork has some amazing professionals, and I would like to introduce you to one of them. We are at the Pro Spotlight segment. Everybody clap. Welcome. I would like you to meet Danny Parlin. He is a highly professional and reliable and driven individual. Danny said, when I first signed up for Instawork, the flexibility to book a shift on a day that I didn't have anything else going on was amazing. Prior to COVID and quarantine, Danny worked full-time in the hospitality industry, and he found out about Instawork through a friend and started picking up shifts as a bartender to increase his income. Danny is a gold member, which means that he gets to enjoy perks like bonuses and early access to shifts. And he loves the freedom with the scheduling, and he's also made some amazing connections along the way. Thank you, Danny. We really appreciate you. Thank you. And that brings me to my next guest, Genevieve. I am probably going to mess up your last name too, so I'm just going to ask you how to say it because I already messed up Andrea's name.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Genevieve Harakidas.
Okay, I would have messed that up. Harakidas. I love it. Genevieve is a Las Vegas local, and you're a realtor. I am so excited to talk to you about this whole dating experience that you've had because you know what it's like, and you're out there. You've been on the apps. You live in Vegas. You know what it's like with the transient town, right? What is it like having a matchmaker? And Andrea is your matchmaker, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through the whole process, and have you had any luck? Because I haven't talked to you recently. That's another thing I need to know. Okay.
Yeah, so the process with Tawkify was very different than any other dating app. Basically, normal dating apps, you fill out your profile and then you hit submit and all of a sudden, bam, you have matches. Tawkify was you fill out your online, like you did. You apply your online. It's basic questions. Then I had a phone call with an introductory person, and they were like, hey, you're qualified. We're really excited. We have matches for you. And then you go through, your pricing, right? So it is not cheap. But again, that's why we think that, the other side has more commitment because it's not cheap. So, and then you have a call with your matchmaker. So they go through a whole gambit of questions, and Andrea asked me all kinds of different things, and it's video chat. So they get to know your energy and your vibe, and they get to know your personality and what you like, what you don't like. So they're learning about what you like as much as about you in order to describe you to your potential match.
Right. Which sounds like, honestly, it takes me back to the basics of what it probably was like years ago before we even had technology, right?
Yeah.
Because a friend or a family member would have knows you, knows everything about what you're looking for, knows your energy, and then goes and tries to match you with someone else that would be a perfect fit.
Yep.
So that part is interesting. And what was I gonna? Oh, your dates. What was it like?
Oh, yes. So I've had a few dates.
Okay.
They've all been really great dates.
Yeah.
So let me think. I've had 2 dates.
Okay.
Yes. So I had a date coming up. It was supposed to happen last weekend, but we couldn't figure out a time. Because everyone's busy right now.
Everyone's busy.
Yeah, and especially with real estate, I'm swamped, so
Yeah.
it's probably my fault. But so we've had I've had a couple dates. The guys were amazing, very nice gentlemen. Exactly, they definitely filled one category completely.
Yeah.
So far as like looks or personality or emotional, like whatever. Maybe one or two categories. I haven't found all three.
What are the three major ones?
So I would say for me, it's like, looks.
Yeah.
Right. And then personality and then kind of like all the other stuff,
Yeah.
like emotional, mental, like
Right.
all that kind of stuff. So I think the guys had great personalities. And then, one of them really kind of checked all the like behind the scenes boxes, the non-physical, but it wasn't a physical match.
Oh,
so
like you had a connection or no?
I didn't have a connection.
Oh, but he did. Okay.
Yeah. So
Aw.
I know.
And it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
I'm curious about your experience as far as the way the man carried the date versus the way an online date goes. Because you've been on online dates, right?
I have been on a few online dates. Yeah.
Did you feel like there was a different weight in the date? I don't know how to describe this.
So
like,
the caliber
of the date. That's
yes,
perfect. Yeah.
Yes. So Andrea does a really good job with making sure that the restaurants are awesome where we meet.
Oh, so they schedule it. They schedule the place.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's been steakhouses. It's been, one was at Crystal's at Mastro's.
Okay.
So they're definitely nice places. So it's fun to get all dressed up and, go there. But yeah, so the place really dictates the caliber, I think.
Yeah.
And so the last date I went on, we actually meet at the bar is how Andrea sets it up. So it's very casual. So it's low pressure.
Right.
If you really wanted to just run away, you could.
I'm sure people have. I mean,
maybe, yeah.
Get nervous.
Yeah, I'm too stubborn for that. So I show up. But the gentleman had, he was like, no, we can't sit at the bar. This is not, the way I want to date. So he actually relocated to a table, picked a very specific table in the restaurant and made sure they set it all up for us.
Wait, were you guys not going to sit at a table anyway? That's what I would think that you were.
Well, so we can like eat at, sometimes you can eat at the bar in a steakhouse.
Okay.
But he was like, no, this is not, this is too casual. I want it to be, very formal.
Like, I want to take care of this girl right here.
Yeah.
I want to make sure she's, really happy.
Yeah. Before he even met me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I did not know there were men like that out there.
There's a few.
Mom, do you have any questions? Because I'm just feeling the brewing inside on the side of me.
I can feel it.
I like those kind of men. Yeah.
You like them?
Yeah. Who take care of their women. Yeah.
Yes. Very important.
We would love some. Yeah.
We would love some. And I mean, what's kind of interesting about that, what we're saying right now, and I think you'll agree with me, is that we don't need a man to take care of us.
No, I didn't mean it that way. But
no, I know you didn't.
If he's there,
yes,
the
point
like
is we are strong personalities.
Yes,
and
definitely.
God, that could be a whole other episode. Maybe Courtney needs to talk about that on the next one. But because I read somewhere that a strong personality can't like date another strong one, and I'm like, that's not true. In my head, I was thinking, that can't be true because I am a strong personality, but I don't want to date someone that's not strong. I don't know.
Timid. No, I always tell people who have not as strong personalities as me that I will run them over like a freight train because I will.
That's not scary at all, Genevieve.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's the point because it's like if you don't have a strong personality, like you don't really know who you are and like you're not going to speak up for yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll just forget about you. Like, I'll just be living my life and I'll be like, oh, yeah, who was that guy that I was texting? I don't even remember his name.
That happens all the time on the apps. And it's not because I've been guilty of that so many times. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm literally busy. And so I missed a message. Mm-hmm. And then they get upset. They get really upset. And I don't know.
Girl, no.
I don't know.
Cut that guy off.
I feel bad for men too, though. I really do because maybe there are good men out there that don't know how to date and they don't know where to find good women, Hopefully they're tuning in right now because
yes,
we have the answers for you.
Yes. Go on Tawkify.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, let's see. Talene has a comment. Let's see what that comment is. You need chemistry, which is beyond the looks, and personality, which is more evident when you meet in person. How does it work on online dating? Is that she's asking that, I believe. She wants to understand. What do you think?
So I think that's the entire point of meeting someone in online dating. That's why you want to meet them as fast as possible, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that way you actually see if you have chemistry.
Correct.
If they look like their pictures, because most of the time they don't. If they are the age that they said they are, because sometimes they're not. But then if you even have chemistry,
Mm-hmm. I agree
on the
with
date.
that. 100%. I don't actually like to engage in a long conversation, and it's not because I don't want to get to know the person, because I really do. I want to know who you are, but I don't want to engage with you for a week or two without, and God, I don't even go on dates anymore like I used to. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, if I haven't met you and I don't physically know if there's, and chemistry is not just physical, it's mental, right? If there's no chemistry, then we're both wasting our times having this interaction. I don't know. I'd be interested in what other people think about that. What about that show that they don't even meet in person? What is it called?
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. That was crazy. I watched a couple of series of that. Mom, these people don't even meet. They actually are in a room and they're talking through a wall. And it's a show.
Oh, I have seen that.
You have?
Yeah, but kind of.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't like it.
Why?
Like there's two couples that are still married.
Yeah, there's
Like that? Oh.
Yeah, they met afterwards and they had a I just feel like they got lucky. I don't know.
Well, so I think so. There's a new dating app coming out that you use voice to like communicate, and like you listen to people's voice memos instead of like written words, which for me, you really got to pull the words out of me. So I don't know that that's going to be my jam, but
we're not pulling any words out of you now. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I know a lot about dating, so
I don't think you're a realtor. Okay. You don't have a problem with talking.
It's true.
You definitely are an extrovert. So that makes it easier. That's what I wrote remember the postings I put, I said, she doesn't have a problem, everybody, meeting people in person.
I really don't. It's a problem.
Right. Okay, let's read Kim's comment and see what she's asking. She said, yes, I love a confident, strong personality. I agree with that. Confidence goes a long way. It makes someone look more attractive, don't you think?
Yeah, confidence is the number one attractor, I think. That if a guy's not confident, like I'm not even going to waste my time.
Right. I agree. Wow. So, there's so many different. By the way, I just saw my friend at Trader Joe's a couple nights ago. He was walking in and he knows about the show and everything. And he's like, me and my girlfriend met on Tinder. I didn't even realize that. They met on Tinder. They're moving in together in a few months. They've been together. They met like during the pandemic, a few months into it. And so I will say that I know people who have gotten married, who are in relationships from the app. I don't know how that happened because I've had really bad experiences, but it can happen. Andrea, I am saying your name correctly. Are you still there, Andrea?
Yes, and you know what? Yeah, it can happen because just because it's not known for people having intentional experiences doesn't mean that some people aren't going to the app with intentions and really open hearts to do something with long-lasting relationships at the end. But is it typical, right? Is it known for it? And that's why you want to go to the places where more of those people are known to be. And then you are more likely to get more of the result that you're actually looking for.
You mean when I'm in the supermarket looking at like oranges?
Potatoes?
I say oranges because I'm originally from I do really say oranges. I had to stop myself. Oranges. Yeah, I know. It's like what you're food shopping and you're just supposed to be like winking at. So I look like I have Tourette's.
Bend and
like
snap,
winking
right? Bend and snap.
I am the worst. You guys, I am the worst flirt in the universe. I don't even know how to flirt.
Oh, we
My
can
best
work
friend
on that too. Okay.
Oh, please,
We can
please.
work on
My
that
best
too.
friend, she'll always, we talk every day, and she's always telling me, just go to the bar and like wink at the guy like down at the end of the bar. I'm like, do you know how ridiculous I would look? I can't do that.
It just depends. It just depends, because
Yeah,
you can either do it in a funny way where it's a conversation starter, where it's like
hmm
you're obviously being humorous, and that
yeah,
confidence that you have, that's the thing. How do we display confidence? Confidence comes
right,
off as being natural and okay to take risks.
right.
So if you
I,
did
I
do
just,
something like that, it would be okay, right?
right. I'm just not good at it, but I need some practice. Why
Just
don't we
make it
get,
fun.
yeah, let's invite Courtney into our conversation, and we will, dive a little bit deeper. And I'm just curious about what she's going to say as a whole. Courtney Dandy Fralick is a licensed therapist and the co-owner of the Healthy Foundation Center, which is a therapy agency that has been in Las Vegas since 2014. Welcome, Courtney. Thank you for being here.
Hey. All
Hey.
right. Hello. Yeah, it's Fralick. So the A says its
Oh,
name.
okay. So today's episode is a good
Oh,
example of how you should say everyone's name correctly.
That's okay. I tell my son he's gonna be correcting people for the rest of his life. So just learn to say the A says its name.
Yeah.
And everybody will get it.
Fralick, right?
Yes.
Fralick. Okay. Got it.
Yes.
How are
All
you?
right. Yeah.
What do you
I am
think about
good.
all of this? I mean, first, I just want to say, like, I know that meeting is half the battle, right? So being in a relationship and staying in one is pretty important. Um, I'm just going to let you take the floor and give me some of your opinion. And by the way, we're bringing Courtney back to the second episode. So if you have any kind of questions, we can dive deeper on the next episode as well.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I didn't tell you this beforehand, but as you guys were talking about it, it kind of prompted my memory. I actually met my husband online. I met my husband before we had chat rooms. We had dating sites and websites and these apps. We had chat rooms. So I met my husband in a chat room, just random guy I was talking to, and I was bored, and I said, "Hey, let's go have a drink." And then we had a drink. And then this month we'll have been married for 10 years. So, it just kind of, sometimes things happen. So I think that definitely, I think there's, it's a multifaceted kind of thing that we're looking at when we're talking about our romantic relationships, right? How do you find somebody? How do you then connect with that person? And then what do you do after you connect to keep going? I honestly think it's a lot easier than a lot of people make it. I know that sounds weird to say, but I'm a minimalist as a therapist. So I think that the easy way is probably the better way. I think people make things a lot like really complicated. I have one thing that I boil it down to that I'm not going to tell you guys today because Maral wants you to tune in next time. But I boil it down to really one kind of key principle about how to relate with other people in an ongoing, well way. And for people who tune in next time, I'll tell you what that is. But I think that it's easier than we sometimes make it if we kind of approach it in a certain way. And so, I hear your point about upbringing and things like that, and I think all that's very important. And I think that we should be asking questions. And I love that Andrea has a process where she gets all this information and asks all these questions. That is super important. Like knowing who you're dealing with, knowing what's important to that person. I love that you tacked on, talking about politics and religion and all those things that people tell us don't talk about. Like, well, why don't you want to talk about? Those seem like important things to talk about. So, all those things are really valuable. And I think if you add on this one principle that I talk to all of my couples about, it can create long lasting relationships if the people involved are interested in that. And so I'll kind of just leave that teaser there. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, I mean.
Okay. Do I have to wait until the next episode to get to get the answer to your teaser? I want to know
Yes.
what it is.
I'll
That's pretty
text
good.
you.
That thank you. No, but that's pretty cool. I mean, I knew you had something up your sleeve there, so thank you. I appreciate that. Let's look at some comments and see if Kimberly Hancock said, "Me too. I don't have a clue of how to flirt." Yeah, I don't. By the way,
I
Courtney,
love going through, and I do a workshop. Sorry.
Yeah.
I love just going through that process and helping people really find out how to connect with their bodies so that they can be empowered to flirt. I do workshops that take us through that. But if you really, again, just get into enjoying the beautiful being that you are blessed with, then you find all different ways to really introduce it to the world.
Yes, confidence goes a long way, like we said. Absolutely. And by the way, I just want to make a point. Courtney, you did not tell me that you met your husband online
Yes.
in a chat room. So I thought that was really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see if there's some more comments.
Yes.
Oh, Silva says, once you get past the fluff, it's really important to find out, their life goals, not just career goals. Goals must align for a long-term relationship. Yes, I agree with that. Yes, our goals must align. We also evolve as people as time goes on, right? I might be a little more awakened on something than my partner. My partner might be. I just feel like kind of helping each other and not judging the other person maybe is the best thing. I don't know. I've never been married, so I don't have all the answers. Courtney knows the answers, and we will be bringing her back.
I'm happily married too.
Oh, right.
I just
Oh
wanted to
yes,
say
that's
hi to my baby too. He's out traveling for work, or he would definitely be here cheering me on, but he's virtually cheering me on. So
Yes.
I love you
Thank
so
you,
much, my
Andrea,
darling.
for telling me that. I was going to ask you if you
Oh
are
yes,
in a
12 years
relationship.
I've been with my husband.
That's
Yes, I love
beautiful.
him so very much.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. And
But
okay,
yeah.
so I want a little tip from each one of you. We'll start with Andrea about how to make that relationship last. What would be a tip?
The tip is really going back to the principles of love, which is love is patient, love is kind, all of those things that really allow you to keep rediscovering a person and giving grace as you want them. So when you say you love someone and you want it to last, then really challenge yourself to find out what the definition of that means and how you can continue to show your partner that for a lifetime.
That's beautiful. And Courtney, I know you don't want to give away too much. You don't want to spill the beans, but we would love to hear some tips from you too. Again, same. I just want to keep saying it over and over again. It's not about it's finding the right person, but I don't know if I believe that. What is it? They say that some kind of chemical thing happens to your brain in the beginning when you're in a relationship, and then it's not going to. I don't know. I would love to think I'm going to be in love forever, but there are people, especially with COVID. I mean, people realized in COVID that, hey, I'm with the wrong person or I'm with the right person. So things happen. How do we, I mean, what would be some tips from you?
I think that the biggest tip that I would give that doesn't give away what I'm going to tell you guys next time is that um, my my therapeutic principle is, and I know it sounds harsh when I say this because it's out of context, but I'm going to say it anyway because the harsh things stick with people. Is you made that up, and I say that to say if we can make up things that don't benefit us, we can make up things that do, which means if something doesn't work for the relationship that you are attempting to foster, move the goalpost. Move the goalpost. I think a lot of times what does people in is believing a relationship has to look a certain way based on what they have seen or experienced around them growing up and other relationships they've seen. Your relationship gets to look like whatever you and your partner decided to look like. And if you can be flexible in what that looks like, I believe you have a better shot at finding a relationship that will last. Some people's husbands don't live in their house, and that works for them because whatever they got going on, it works. Now, on from the outside, it might look weird, but it works for them. Some people's husbands travel all the time, and they see them a couple weeks out of the year. It works for them. Some people have different ways of existing in relationships. So I encourage people to make it look like what it needs to look like for you and the person you are deciding to be with, and forget what everybody else has to say, because you need to do what's going to work for you all. Creativity.
Genevieve, do you want to live in the same house with your significant? I mean, I believe that we are in a newer times where people are more open to trying. We already know that. We've seen it.
Yes.
Whatever works for you works for you. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm at a point in my life right now where I wouldn't even want to live with someone for quite a while, because I have set up my space and I'm very happy with the way everything is. So it would take a lot for me to want to move somebody in or move in with them. But I think, yes, if I'm married to someone, I definitely want them close and nearby.
Yeah.
Quite often.
I will say that I've always had this little thing where I thought to myself, I want to have my own room. And it doesn't have to be a bedroom, like an actual bed, although I might sleep in there sometimes if I get annoyed. But like how men have a man cave, they say, like, you've heard this. I'm like, I need a woman cave.
A she shed.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I've never heard that term before. That's a good one. A she shed. She shed. Okay.
My sister just set hers up.
Okay, that would
my
be
neighbor
my
has the best one. It is beautiful. I love her. She has the coolest one. My husband made me a really nice office, so that is like my she shed. So.
That's amazing. I think every woman deserves one. A man deserves one too, but I would. And if they have a problem with that, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. Those are my conditions.
She's on the line.
Any opinions about all of this, Mom? I mean, now is your moment, your shining moment to find me a man, Mom. Right now. We are live on Facebook. Yes.
Oh.
What would you like to say to your future son-in-law?
Well, you were online. They saw you. A lot of people saw you. And you just put down what you are looking for.
Yeah.
Let them...
What should they expect out of being with me?
You are who you are, like, what's the word I want to say?
Ambitious?
You are ambitious, but...
stubborn?
What? No, you're not stubborn. You are true person. Like, what's the word I want to say?
You're real.
Real. Yeah. You're real.
Genuine.
Yeah. Genuine person.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I have an accent, so you have to correct
and it's
me.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
So.
Yeah. So
they will be lucky if they courted you.
So this episode is really a big secret to find my... No, I'm just joking. Well, I just want to say I can't believe how fast the last hour flew by. That's number one. I had so much fun, and I'm so grateful that you guys were all here. Girls were all here with me. I cannot wait to hear more and meet your significant other very soon. So thank you, Genevieve, for being here. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And also thank you for Andrea for being here. Thank you so much. I think we will be talking soon, Andrea. I don't know.
Please, let's do it. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm willing. Let's go.
Let's do this. And thank you so much, Courtney, for being here. And you will be back on the second episode. We have to think about some interesting things to talk about. I think the next episode will be fun because it'll be more interactive. We can get people to actually ask questions. I think that'll be cool. And Mom, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I didn't even ask her. I just told her and she showed up. That's my mom.
I enjoyed being here.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, that's pretty much it, everybody. We are done with the Maral Vegas show. Please follow me on my social media tags, which they are all the same, at Maral Vegas for Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, in order to find out more about the next episode when it's airing live. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have a great day, everyone. Night.